Real Estate Journal radio show. I'm Rick Kaplan with Eric Wilson, and we're here in our beautiful studio for the holidays. Isn't this is incredible?
Yeah, they did an amazing job. Very living room feel, and
It is.
We're almost like FDR by the fire.
Well, we are NEREJ by the fire.
We are very SNL too,
And we have a special show.
We do.
This is the best of the 2014 NEREJ radio shows.
I can't believe that rolled off your tongue without a hitch. That's very good. It really is.
Now that's the best of 2014, huh?
It's the first intro that we didn't have to recut. No, you did. I think it's going to be a fantastic show.
Thanks for all of that encouragement that you give me throughout the year, Eric.
Yeah, it's your stocking stuffer.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, we have stockings right here.
We do, and they're in the NERJ blue.
That's right. It's
just so we can keep it
pretty
branded.
Neat. Everything that they did in this is just incredible.
Takes a huge lot. I'm about to be Rick. It takes a big effort in order to.
This is the start of 2015. Eric is now taking over for me.
They did a fantastic job. It takes a lot of energy and a lot of hard work by people to build you up, and also for me to be a part of the show. So thank you. That's my thank you. Happy holidays, everybody, and thank you to our staff who make our show so much fun to do. And,
well, I want to thank our staff. I also want to thank a incredible producer, which is Corey Woods. He's done an incredible job throughout the 2014 year putting together these shows. And I also like to special thanks to Dave Donnell.
Who's that guy?
Well, he is the guy that has put me down throughout the year, making me
to sleep,
making me feel like I had to do more and more to get better at what I do.
So we should all thank him because you did get better. So thank you, Dave Donnell, for making Rick better.
But we have some great cuts of a lot of our shows that are coming up.
Yeah, we had some fantastic guests over the course of this year. We had to have our events, which also supplied some really great shows where you get a mix of different industries on one show. Normally we have one or maybe two guests per show, but with those events we had like 6, 7, 8 interviews. So we had a great time. I mean, we had so many memorable guests, and we had a lot of fun putting together this show with our producer Corey and picking out some of the fun interviews and some of the things that we did.
Yeah, and that I should mention more about our events, because our events have been a great plus to our company as well as to the industry, because a lot of the people that have attended a lot of our events have made some incredible connections. I've heard story over story of people that have made great transactions from meeting people at our events.
Nice.
So,
I mean, we are some wordsmiths, by the way. It's a huge plus for our company. I think they call it an addition.
An addition.
Yeah, I do. That's our biggest, the biggest contribution for 2014, Rick, was you bringing these events and putting on 4 major networking events with over 150 plus attendees at each of these events. So I think the Journal and ourselves also thank you for your hard work.
Well, thank you, Eric. And I want to thank you for all your assistance in helping me put all of this stuff together.
What I do, just keep it less stressful by making jokes? I appreciate it.
No, actually, I have to rephrase that, for giving me all the stress while I'm putting on all these shows.
Right? I mean, that's my job, is to make you get through this stuff.
Yeah.
With a smile on your face.
No, but everyone has been a great help at the Journal.
Unbelievable.
We've had all of these things together for us.
Yeah.
We've done incredible things throughout 2014 with our media department.
Mm-hmm.
And we've met some incredible people. And we're going to go to a break. When we come back, you're going to meet some of the incredible people that we have interviewed on the NEREJ radio show. We'll be right back on Money Matters Radio Network. We're back on New England Real Estate Journal Radio. I'm Rick Kaplan with Eric Wilson, and we're going to go right to some of the great guests that we've had throughout the year 2014. The first cut, we had our Cocktails and Conversations in Hartford, Connecticut, and one of our great guests, it was Tom Hill from Tom Hill Realty.
Right. And that was a great setup, too, as well. That was our first different setup, no table in front of us and chairs and relax. It was a good interview and a great show.
Yeah, it was a good interview, and we're gonna watch that right now, and or listen to it, depending how you how
you digest our media.
right.
New England Real Estate Journal radio show. I'm Rick Kaplan with Eric Wilson, and we're here at Hartford, Connecticut, at our Cocktails and Conversation. And we have sitting with us Tom Hill.
The most famous radio show host of the three.
Yes, whoa. He's also a radio host of his own show. He's also a member of SIOR, CCIM, and Bucket Plan.
Bucket Plan. It's only $1.
So, Tom, what do you think about the show so far?
I'm bowled over. I think it's an awesome event. I've already met 15 people that I hadn't met before that want to do business with me. And I have to say, to start out with, the New England Real Estate Journal, Connecticut Real Estate Journal made my career.
Look at that.
And the show is over. Thank you, folks. We're out of here.
Testimonial.
I know. We're going to cut that and clip it.
So you're working here tonight, helping them out tonight at the CCIM booth and the SIOR.
Yes. And I would have came anyway. And I plan to come to your Boston event. I think I'll buy a sponsorship for that. It's just fantastic to get this many people in a room. At SIOR and CCIM, we're lucky if we get 35, 40 people to come to an event, and I'm looking, you must have 100 here, and there's more still walking in, so it's a thrill.
Well, actually, everywhere we have gone so far to do our events, everyone has said to us, oh, you know, we expect you probably get about 50 people there.
Right.
And everyone's sort of shocked when they come in. And
well, again, we're attacking not just one industry. You know,
Right.
We bring in multiple industries, multiple associations. You also bring in there 30 people. You bring 10 associations, you get about 150 people, you know? And they've turned out to be really well. We're glad you're enjoying it. Let's talk about what is Bucket Plan. They've been on our show, but in case people didn't know when you said it's only $1, and what is your affiliation with them?
They're my buddies, and I
Okay.
help them with some marketing, and they also have a great printing company called Universal Printing, and any real estate broker needs a lot of printing and flyers, including the printing you guys have done. If you buy an ad in the Real Estate Journal, you guys will print it
Right.
for 100 copies, but Bucket Plan will copy as many maps as you want, 1 or 100 for $1 a piece. And if you go to the big box stores, they're $3 or $4. And Brian, I introduced him to the Journal for PR and to learn how to deal with your company. And it's a great little company, and I was glad to introduce him to you guys because you're really easy to deal with, and you're valuable for what you charge for the action that you get.
Well, you know Rolly Hopkins for many years. You know
I
that.
never heard of him.
I'm sure you're trying to forget, but you.
Here he is, Rick Kaplan. Check him out.
But you do know that he always had his commitment to young companies and people trying to start out in the industry. He's always trying to give them the help they needed.
That's me. I started about 33, 34 years ago as Tom Hill Realty, and he never asked me how I would pay him. And they never, just go ahead and advertise, send your PR, and here I am all these years later, and I'm thrilled to meet your new people, yourself, and we've talked on the radio. It's just an excellent company to deal with, and they do get, I'm a living testimonial that you guys get results.
Wow.
Well, I think we're going to have to cut you off there, Tom, because, I mean...
It's only downhill from here with him.
I mean, we can't go anywhere else. That's
right.
the highest point we can go.
It's TomHill.com.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Here's a question, Tom. How is the Hartford market rebounded?
Well, I couldn't tell you about Hartford, but I work Upper New Haven County, Waterbury, and I work the Litchfield County, which is a New York getaway. And I can tell you in the last quarter, it's finally picked up. We did a bunch of transactions. I think we'll be good in 2015, but like the prognosticators are saying, it will depend on, will the world blow up? Where will gas prices be? And what's the economy going to look like? Because any of these real estate deals definitely are tied to what the economy looks like. But I'm cautiously optimistic for the...
And that was from Cocktails and Conversations in Hartford, Connecticut with Tom Hill. And Tom had a lot of great things to say about what the New England Real Estate Journal had done for him when he started out.
Right before we even got there.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, they were doing great things before us. I couldn't believe it.
That's true.
No, yeah. I mean, he had a great testimonial, and he was, he's a huge fan of the Journal. That's the first thing he said when he came over and met us that day.
Yeah, and he talked about how the Journal did do a lot of had a big part on making him successful.
Right, and as well as his own radio show down there in Connecticut, and
That's
Rolly
right.
being one of his favorite guests.
That's true. Rolly's on there quite frequently.
He is.
And our next cut is with Sal Lapoli. We had an event from the Lapoli Company that we were invited to at Salvatore's in the Seaport District in Boston. And we're going to listen to a little bit about what Sal had to say on that show.
Well, we had this conversation.
Yes, we did. A great
we were gonna
conversation.
Stop and talk for like 2 minutes, and we had about an hour conversation in your office. And this guy has got an incredible philosophy, and I want people to hear exactly how you think.
That was a great conversation, Rick, and it was an easy conversation because you have the ability to make people feel comfortable. And as you started to make me feel more comfortable, I started telling you the things that were really important to me. Because who you are is where you came from. And the reason I say it that way is because I always come back to my family. I always come back to my culture. And the reason our organization, I like to feel that we're successful, and I'm saying it in a very humble way, but we're successful because we believe in family. We make family decisions when it comes to our business. What do I mean by that, Eric? When you come into Lee Space, you're not just another number. You're not talking to a guy or a gal that has to talk to somebody that has to have a board meeting on something. You're looking the owner of the real estate in the eye, and you're talking about what's important to you. And if it's important to you, it's important to our organization because you'll then say, we have to do things and help Sal. So it really starts to create the culture of a family relying upon each other. And I learned that from my mother and father. And I have to say it just like that. I'm 48 years old, and still to today, I reference my mother and father, my family, this organization, the way we think, the way we act, the way we feel. I think of it that way in a culture that is only the way we know how to do things.
See, now, if you don't love this guy now, you're never gonna.
And that was the interview with Sal Lapoli from the Lapoli Company. And Sal Lapoli is doing some incredible things. And as you heard, he has a lot going on.
He does, especially up in Lawrence and things like that.
Yeah, and he's actually made a lot of connections for us.
Yeah.
Because he introduced me to the mayor of Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the guests that came to his party
Right.
were very influential people as well.
And that party was, you just heard that show just a few weeks ago. That clip was only taken a few weeks ago over at the Salvatore's down at the Seaport. They put on a great venue, great spread, and another shout out to Jerry Lynn Darcy, who put on a great event for Sal.
Yeah,
And they did a great job.
And Jerry Lynn Darcy, who has been a friend of ours, the New England Real Estate Journal.
Since Bragby.
Yeah, has always been a lot of help to us, and we do a lot of great things for her as well. And our next cut is from Ravis Marketing Group, and we have Chris Ravis and Brad Honer of Ravis Marketing Group, and they're talking a little bit about what Ravis Marketing Group does for the commercial real estate industry.
And we want to find out what makes Ravis Marketing Group unique from the other marketing groups that are out there, and a little bit about how your team works.
Well, we call it the Ravis difference, and essentially what we have in what we've worked on for the past 40 years is really being a very entrepreneurial company, and always we've grown significantly as a real estate entity. We're in 7 states now with 110 offices, and we're always striving to continue to elevate what we're doing. So in the Boston market, getting into the development business in the marketing side of that business was really critical for us. So in working backwards outward in, we figured, okay, well, how can we be successful in this business, and what do we have to do to differentiate ourselves from the competition? And what we found was, the backdrop of a big company that has a lot of resources that we can tap into was not necessarily seen out there in the marketplace. And also, if we could create a team of specialists that was unique in the market, that added a whole different level of depth and experience, then we knew that we could create something that could be very powerful, and when sitting down with these developers, something they have not seen in the Boston market.
And that was Chris Ravis and Brad Honer of the Ravis Marketing Group. And they talked about a lot of they were brand new to the Boston market. So they were talking a little bit about what they're doing for a lot of developers.
What is the Ravis difference?
And what is the Ravis difference?
And that was a
you
big
can find
thing.
out if you listen to that clip.
Yeah, they did they were just in the studio a few weeks ago as well, and there were some great guests. We had a lot of fun off the scene that a lot of people won't get a chance to see, but it was a great show, and we had a lot of fun doing that one as well.
That was. And we'll be right back on Money Matters Radio Network.
We're back on the New England Real Estate Journal radio show. I'm Eric Wilson alongside Rick Kaplan, and we're doing our best of 2014 show. Upcoming, you're going to hear the clips from Jason Falchetta and Frank Spoviero, where he was summoned in as a ARM right on our show. One of the first times we've done that, and they got their designation. And here's that clip.
So the membership of the Institute of Real Estate Management, and by any other means available to me. I pledge myself to maintain the highest moral and ethical standards consistent with the objectives and higher purposes of the Institute. I pledge myself to seek and maintain an equitable, honorable, and cooperative association with fellow members of the Institute and all others who may become part of my business and professional life. I recognize and support the need to preserve and encourage fair and equitable practices and competition among all who are engaged in the profession. I also pledge myself to place honesty, integrity, and industriousness above all else, and to pursue my gainful efforts with diligent study and ongoing education so that I can so my services shall be beneficial to all the general public, and in my obligations to my clients shall always be maintained at a highest possible level. I pledge myself to comply with the principles and declarations of the Institute of Real Estate Management as set forth by its bylaws, statement of policies, and code of ethics. Please say I do.
I do.
All right, my friend. Congratulations.
Thanks,
Congratulations. Here's your CPM pin. Put that on your lapel there. That's the gold standard there for us. And then we'd like to present you with your certified property manager certificate, and hopefully proudly hang that up on your wall. And welcome to the family, as we say. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Frank.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, why don't you show the audience?
That's great stuff.
Actually, and you can see how difficult his name is to pronounce, right?
And that was Jason Falchetta, the president of IREM Connecticut chapter, swearing in Frank Spoviero on our show. That was also from the Cocktails and Conversations event we had at Hartford, and that was our first time doing something like that. It was kind of cool.
Yeah, that was the first time we had any of the associations swear a member in to office.
Yeah, right.
That was very.
It was very unique and a lot of fun. I also didn't get a chance to take part in that because Frank and Jason had to take my microphone and seat, but I did get to witness it, and I was excited for that.
Yeah, well, that's one of the beautiful parts of filming these shows.
Right.
Because now you can see it. You don't even have to be there, Eric.
I know. I get to go back and watch it on YouTube. But so that was from our Cocktails and Conversations in Hartford. Our next clip is from Cocktails and Conversations in Providence when we sat down with Mayor Scott Avedisian and talked about this.
Sitting here with the mayor of Warwick, Rhode Island, Mayor Scott Avedisian. We did a show about a month ago.
We did.
And you know what?
I wasn't actually on that one.
And I just found out I was saying your last name wrong.
Not a problem.
And no one corrected me.
By the way, that came out fantastic. That was a great interview.
Good. It did. So we know there's so much going on in Warwick. As a matter of fact, I'm talking to people out in the crowd here, and they're telling me that the reason they came down because they knew you were going to be here because there's so much going on in Warwick.
Yeah, we're actually doing very well. We've had a number of meetings since our last radio show with you, with more businesses that we're going to be announcing moving to Warwick and changes that are going to be happening. And we were just named one of the 50 best communities to live in the country by the Wall Street Journal. Very, very positive. And some other good distinctions that are coming along that we'll be announcing in the next couple weeks.
Fantastic.
And I like to think it's because you were on our show.
Absolutely, of course. It's all good to let people know the good things that are happening here. We just announced international service into TF Green State Airport. For first time ever, we'll have regularly scheduled flights to Frankfurt, Germany.
Oh, wow.
They'll be starting next June. Condor Airlines has made that commitment to come here. And we're hoping that before the end of the year, we'll have another international carrier online as well.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see that the word is getting out.
It is.
And I was watching TV last night, and
Get out of here.
And on the TV screen, there's a commercial. Warwick, Rhode Island.
Right.
Yeah.
We're doing a lot of advertising in New England to convince people that TF Green is an easy airport to fly in and out of. The flights are competitive with all of your other pricing in the region, so you can come. We have a stay, park, and ride program so that you come down to Warwick, you stay the night before your flight, you leave your car parked at the hotel, we take you over to the airport, you don't have to pay for airport parking. It makes a good win for us to be able to take advantage of trying to fill hotel space in niche markets.
Yeah, that sounds like a win-win.
Right.
As a matter of fact, one of the raffles tonight is stay, park, and fly from down by TF Green.
Yep, it's all good. Good stuff.
From the Warwick, Rhode Island
Wow.
Mayor's
Absolutely.
office. And so we appreciate you coming on the show.
My pleasure.
And I know you're busy tonight, and we do appreciate you that you even came out to the event.
Not a problem.
So good luck with everything that's going on.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
good
much.
luck in 2015. Thanks
Good
for
to
joining
see
us.
you. Thank you.
And that was Mayor Scott Avedisian sitting down with Rick and I talking at Cocktails and Conversations in Providence, Rhode Island. And he talked about all the great things they're doing in the city of Warwick and how they're trying to make the city more walkable, and as well as adding to their business development areas.
And, we actually went down to Warwick and we took a little tour, looked at some of the things that they were talking about. And, they do have a lot of incredible things that they're doing down there.
They do. It's very exciting for the way that Mayor Scott Avedisian was talking about it. And, he's just hoping they can continue to grow. And bring more
and I
business
think
in.
they will. They do incredible amounts of promoting of the city. And they bring a lot of attention to their TF Green Airport and the City Walk, I think it's called, City Center.
City Center.
And, it's going to be a great place for people to live, work, and play, I think.
Right. We will look forward to hearing more about that in 2015. And our final clip from this segment is with Nokia Navarro and Carlos Velasquez, and they were from Let's Get Ready, where Rick and I went and took the time out to interview a few of the Let's Get Ready personnel who talked about preparing young students with the SATs and to go to college. And here's what we talked about here.
Kaplan with Eric Wilson, and we have sitting right next to us is Nakia Navarro. She is the New England did I
You
say
said
right?
it very sexy. I like it.
Oh,
I like
nice.
I'm kind of a sexy guy.
I mean,
Whoa.
what do you want?
This just got
What do you
way
want?
off topic,
Here we
Rick.
go. Let's focus, people. Real Estate Journal.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Nakia is the regional director for Let's Get Ready.
Here we go.
And you
Here
put
we
this
go.
event on right here tonight.
Yes, sir.
And what does it take to put on a big event like this?
A lot of wine. A lot of energy, right, and a lot of commitment to the mission. I'm sure you guys have spoken to our students and
Yes.
volunteers tonight.
Yeah.
They're amazing.
Very impressive, I must say.
Very
They're
impressive.
impressive, and they're amazing. And so we started this event when I first got here to bring in some general operating dollars for the organization, and basically it helps us to start new sites throughout the region, and our region is 5 states.
Do you run this event only here in Boston, or you guys?
We run it only here in Boston, and we bring in all of our amazing people from New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine,
Man, they all come down.
Rhode
Nice.
Island, so
Wow.
up en masse.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Well, it's what happens when you have an open bar, good food, and jazz.
Oh, wait, you didn't tell me that earlier, Eric.
Yeah, I wanted you to focus on the radio show first, and then we'll celebrate.
We would have wrapped this up a long
I
time
see how this relationship works.
Yeah, this show would have been much faster had we known it was
So
over.
he's the husband and you're the wife.
Wow, Nakia, she's off the show. This thing got cut, redo it. No, it's probably more true. That's probably
I love
true.
it. I love it.
He is. He's the guy who runs the show.
That's right.
I love it.
And I just do what I do. So,
You're the pretty guy.
yes, right? I'm the pretty face. I'm the arm candy.
Oh, I love it. Wait. I thought I was. I
Well,
thought we
you're
were taking this
definitely
thing on the
arm
show.
candy.
Here we go.
You've just added way more views than we're used to.
Oh, I love it.
I will say, so you put this big event on.
Yep.
How many months goes into planning this?
Dude, as soon as we end tonight, we start the next day.
Wow.
We try to find our honoree, someone who's as prominent as Eastern Bank. I mean, they are just amazing partners. They brought in over $50,000 for the organization.
Wow.
So that's what we're looking for in an honoree, someone who is committed to education as well as investing that type of, making that type of investment
Right.
in what we're trying to do. That takes time. That's a
Right.
lot of meetings, a lot of coffee.
Right,
you
yeah.
know.
I imagine.
But that's what it takes whenever you're putting on any type of fundraising.
Absolutely.
And then who is tonight's honorary speaker?
Rich Holbrook.
Rich Holbrook,
who's
Eastern
the
Bank?
CEO of Eastern Bank, Massachusetts boy. Didn't even think he was going to college. Ended up at Yale.
Oh, well, that's a good turnaround. I don't know if I want to go to school, but if I do, it's going to be Ivy League. I sort of
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
And actually, he was a science major,
I already like him.
and all of a sudden got
So-
into banking. So that's crazy.
Well,
but
that
he's
is.
That
so
makes
committed
sense.
to education, and so it was a perfect fit.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. So again, it takes about a year to pull this thing off.
And we're excited to go check it out. And thank you for coming over and talking to us.
My pleasure.
We
sir.
try. We don't let you. We don't want to keep you too long. We know you're running the whole event.
Hey,
so
thanks so
Yes.
much.
no problem.
Hey, slice of
Everyone's
heaven.
looking forward to seeing you out.
I thought they were looking forward to my outfit.
Your outfit is fantastic.
All right, well,
We're at the Let's Get Ready Gala here. Actually, it's the Join the Movement Gala that Let's Get Ready is
Fourth
putting on.
annual.
And we have sitting right next to us is the National Director of College Success, Carlos Velasquez.
Perfect.
Was it good?
Perfect.
It was great.
You know, I'm not very good with last names. So,
So, why don't you tell us what that initiative is? Is the College Success, or what does the Director of College Success do?
Definitely. So Let's Get Ready has been helping students get through the SATs and helping them get to college. So we've decided that it's important also to get them through college. We have a lot of our students who are getting to campus and need to identify the resources they need and need to be kind of pushed along the way to make sure that they're not just graduating from college, but graduating from college and getting ready to get into the workforce and are being able to deal with some of the issues that might come up while they're in college. So Let's Get Ready has built these strong bonds, and we just don't want to let them go once they get to college, and we wanted to make it a very constructive and deliberate effort to make sure our students are successful all the way through college.
And that was Nakia Navarro and Carlos Velasquez of Let's Get Ready talking about the time and preparation they put into their association and organization, getting young students the necessary preparation for their SATs and to go to college. And that was a lot of fun for us as well.
That was a lot of fun, and we met a lot of interesting people at that. That was a little out of our realm of shows because it was we did it as
Because we're not educated.
a charitable event,
Right.
And you know that's what we do. We try to help people,
Right. It was a lot of fun. I mean,
and it was a lot of
it
fun.
was out of our comfort zone a little bit, but we
It was,
but we
but-
find a way to get a little.
But you know,
get it done.
if it was a way of helping them,
Right.
that's what we served our purpose. We helped them.
Right. And you just heard from Jason Falchetta, Frank Sparvero, Mayor Scott Avedisia, Nakia Navarro, and Carlos Velasquez here on Money Matters Radio Network.
And we're back on New England Real Estate Journal Radio. I'm Rick Kaplan with Eric Wilson, and we're doing our best of 2014. And the next clip you're going to see or listen to is one of our most unique shows because we did it on the 12th floor of the Troy Boston building in Boston. Was it the 12th or the 16th?
That was the 16th floor.
Oh, the 16th
Open
floor.
spaces.
They were placing the last beam of the building on that
Right.
day. So you can imagine, this building is not completed. We're doing our show from there. I'm afraid of heights, and we're up 16 floors, and
Yeah.
there's no walls.
Right, no walls. Beautiful summer afternoon. You could literally see across the city from the views were unbelievable
So-
for us.
This is Troy, Boston. And we're at the top of actually not the top, the 12th floor of
Still
the
high enough.
Troy Boston building that they're placing the final beam on the top of the building.
Is that what they call the beam topping?
Yeah, well, is it the beam topping? I think they
I
just
don't
call it the topping.
The topping.
And we're looking over the city of Boston, which is on a beautiful day like today. It's a gorgeous sight.
It is. You don't realize how big the city is until you're in the middle of it and on top of it.
And, it's the first time we've ever done a show without any walls or this high up from the ground.
And with this big of an audience, too, behind us.
That's right. We got a full crowd here.
We also have hard hats on.
We have hard hats on. we have hard
Let's stop
hats.
right now.
We have hard hats
It's
on.
hard enough
And-
to speak this.
All right,
but,
we're not going to go any
couple
further.
hard heads and a couple hard hats.
Yeah.
Check out the Troy Boston building. We're really excited to do this show here. Hopefully, we'll have a few guests that are going to talk. I know
Yeah,
that
they have
the speaking
Mayor
program is about
Walsh.
to take place.
Mayor Walsh is coming in.
And beautiful location, apartment buildings they're putting in here. I'm excited for the show.
Yeah, no, this is pretty exciting. Be
It
up
is.
this high, looking out, no walls.
I'm always this high. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah.
No walls,
Yeah, it's the wind.
Wind's
I don't know
blowing
if they
in.
can hear it, but we can definitely feel it.
Yeah.
It's great. It's amazing.
I mean,
we're
you
lucky
can-
to do a show here.
If you look over to the left, you can even see the Boston Harbor.
You can see the
area.
Boston Harbor. You get the highway to your left. You've got pretty much. You got a complete 360 view of the city. You're
That's
right in
right.
the center as you come in.
This would
And,
be a beautiful place to live.
It is. It's going to be a beautiful place for some people.
And actually, you can stand up here. You can look out over the Southeast Expressway.
Yeah.
And you can see everyone sitting in the traffic.
Yeah, well,
I'd rather be standing up here than sitting down
very
there.
much so. We did get a little bit of traffic coming in. If people don't know where this is, we're on.
It's Traveler Street.
Traveler Street, right near the Medieval
I think
Manor.
It's 100 Traveler Street.
We are right next to the Medieval Manor. I can see the building from here. That's how
This
I
is
recognize
actually
it.
what they call the Ink Block area.
This is the Ink Block.
And this used to be where the Herald building used to be.
Oh, nice.
And they're
little
building,
fun fact from Rick.
Yeah, they're
Thank
building
you.
all these condominiums and apartments,
Yeah.
and I assume they'll have all kinds of shopping that will be coming into the
Yeah.
area as well.
I agree.
So I mean, they're doing a very nice job here, and they're redoing this whole part of the city.
Yeah. Rick, why are you holding the mic?
I'm holding the
You
headset.
look like a radio operator that's taking an emergency
I'm
call.
holding the headset because it makes it easier
Yeah.
for me to hear. But
You're like, hey. Oh, you're like on a helicopter ride. Mayday,
well,
mayday.
yeah,
we are down.
I'm getting some of the wind, into the headphones.
Into the headphones?
But I'm really excited to be up here.
I can tell. I thought this whole show you were going to talk about your fear of heights.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, well, that's because we're in the center.
Well, that's we're on the 12th floor. They said the 19th floor.
Does 7 floors more up make a difference?
Yeah.
Well, I think when you're up this high, you're up this high.
It does make a difference.
I guess it does to people with fear of heights.
But no, I'm glad to see that they have the floor done. I
Yeah.
thought we were going to be walking in between beams up here.
Oh, really?
And and there's a roof over our head.
They don't let superstars like us up here without safety precautions.
Yeah,
I mean, they
thought-
came in to check the elevator yesterday. They knew what was going on.
Yeah, no, and they have it all set up. They had a guy at the elevator. I
Yeah.
thought we were going to be hoisted up by this crane out here.
It's our very first union radio show as well, where everything that had to be set up had to be done by another member of the union.
Yeah.
It made our production staff of Corey and Matt really excited.
Yeah, that was less work they had to do.
Exactly. Especially from us, that's high demanding divas we are.
So, I mean, if you saw how the building was structured in that clip, and you can see that we were up there. We had to wear hard hats.
We did.
That was scary enough, because I don't want any of those beams falling on my head. We went up on an elevator.
I'm hard-headed enough. It probably
We went
wouldn't
up on an
affect me.
elevator that really was like attached to the side of the building.
That was my first time doing that, and that was and I've But I was in the military, so I've done some things, and that was the scariest thing I've ever been a part of.
Yeah.
I was like, I've jumped out of helicopters. I've jumped out of planes.
Especially
That's
when the guy
scary.
kept saying, is this thing
Yeah.
working?
And he was stopping and jerking. I think he was just doing that on purpose because he saw us, in the corner, holding off a dear life. But that was a
Yeah,
great show.
that
and
was a great
A lot
show.
of fun doing those on-site groundbreakings.
And I also want to thank Courtney House, Communications. They definitely helped put together a lot of those shows as well.
They did.
And our next cut is with Jeannie Beretta, and Jeannie Beretta has a school for the CRE industry, and she wants to talk a little bit about that.
Good morning. So tell us a little bit about what New England Real Estate Academy is.
Oh, New England Real Estate Academy is a school started 4 years ago. Primarily it was started to provide online training for continuing ed for brokers in Massachusetts, and now we're in Rhode Island and soon to expand into some other states. But we do live lecture classes as well.
So what is the content of the training? Just on commercial real estate, or is it all aspects of real estate?
It's all aspects of real estate. Every year in Massachusetts, agents need 12 hours of training, and so we have two 12-hour packages. One's for residential agents, the other one's for commercial agents. Yeah.
So how did you start out? What gave you the idea to start up a school like this?
Oh, well, it probably goes back a long time when I started in the business. I started, 30 years ago? More than 30 years ago? I don't remember. I remember the year. Back in the 90s.
Are you asking me? Because I don't remember yesterday.
I started in the real estate business when I lived up in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and became a commercial broker. But through the years, I've worked in corporate real estate, and I really loved the training piece. So over the years, I've done a little bit of training, but my primary job was brokerage. But as I developed my business, I started doing more training, and then I got on the faculty with the CCIM Institute. Talk about that if you'd like in a bit. But so I was doing continuing ed training for the industry, and then the state went and said, we're going to allow online training for the real estate brokers.
That doesn't sound like the state would do something like that.
We had to have been the last state in the country to go with online. No kidding.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, you're probably, yeah, absolutely.
Well, that sounds more like the
Yeah,
state. So we were behind the eight ball.
A little bit. I shouldn't be saying that out in public, but we were among the
That's all right, I
last.
just
So, so if it's a matter of you've got to stay ahead of the bus, you get run over. So I said, let's take a look at online, and to do that, I needed to start the school officially. In the past, I did my training just under my own business umbrella, but I started the school so I could provide online training.
And that was Jeannie Beretta talking a little bit about her school.
Yep, the New England Real Estate Academy. And that was also a really fun show, kind of unique for us because we didn't really know so much about that side of the continuing education for these and some of the stuff that they have, the credentials they need, and that they could do it mostly online.
Yeah, we
through her
found out
academy.
that, and there was a great show for people that are in the CRE industry.
Definitely.
Because now there's all these different
avenues
you have to go through, and the credits that you have to have to be in the industry. And our next clip is with Peter Mahoney of Corcoran Management Company.
Yeah.
And they were talking. Peter was talking about a project they were doing in Weymouth, the old Weymouth Air Force Base.
Mm-hmm.
It was an Air Force base.
I thought it was a naval.
Naval base.
And we're back on New England Real Estate Journal Radio. I'm Rick Kaplan with Eric Wilson. And we have in the studio with us is Peter Mahoney. He is the Senior Project Director at the John M. Corcoran and Company. Good morning, Peter.
Good morning.
A lot of first names in here. So, first of all, you have a new project that Corcoran and Company has started, and that is in the Southfield area. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that? Then we can go into what John M. Corcoran and Company is all about.
Sure. So we're just finishing our second phase down at Southfield, and Southfield is the redevelopment of the former Naval Air Station in South Weymouth. It's a master plan redevelopment, includes 1,400 acres. The master plan calls for over 2,800 units of housing and 2 million square feet of commercial, retail, and other amenity type of spaces, and then some other major infrastructure improvements. So we're the first phase apartment developer. So we've built what are now 298 apartment homes down there. We started construction on the first phase probably about 4 years ago. And we built this last phase, which is another 72 units to get us up to 298. We finished that just a month ago in the midst of our lease up there.
And this is a LEED approved project.
Yep, the first phase was LEED Silver certified. The second phase looks like it'll be LEED Silver, LEED Gold. We're just wrapping up the paperwork now.
And they're sort of a unique apartment complexes.
There's many, yeah.
In some form or fashion.
Yeah. We're unique in this idea of a master plan community is not, it's very common in other places of the country where you have big tracts of land. Around here, there aren't too many of those left. So it's unique in that it's part of this master plan community. We built rental housing. There's for sale housing across the street that's been built over the last few years. And then there's obviously a master plan for a bigger build out. We have a lot of some more standard type of amenities. We also have for our project what we would think are more unique amenities, especially for suburban apartment living. We have a roof deck on one of our buildings now. We have a saltwater swimming pool. We have a outdoor fire pit, grilling, loungy type of area. So we're unique in that respect too.
And that was Peter Mahoney of the Corcoran Management Company. And Peter was talking about the Naval Air Base that they have developed with their apartment units, the apartment complex that they would put up. And it's about time that area had some projects started.
Yeah, there was a few projects obviously were talked about, and then they fell through. And now they're at a point where it's making sense, and I assume that they're just going to continue to build that out in order to help Rockland, Abington, and Weymouth.
Yeah, and they're trying to make it a live, work, and play area.
Of course, everything's going to be that way. Now, that was the theme on our show for the 2014 series.
Yeah, 2014. It seems
we
that
talked to a lot of developers, and all they wanted to talk about was live, work, and play.
Exactly.
Same area.
Well, I want to thank all of our guests for 2014.
As well as our listeners.
And our listeners, and the people that have watched our YouTube channel with all our shows. We've gotten some great views from people all over the world watching the
Shout out to
NEREJ
Italy,
radio.
Our #1 non-American country.
Yes, Italy, and also on the West Coast, we have quite a few people that watched our show.
Right, but that would also be part of the American country.
Since when? That's something new?
Yes, we settled the West, I believe in the 40s, Rick. But it's cool.
Well, thank you to everyone that has...
And happy holidays.
...has worked with us. And thank you to our staff at the New England Real Estate Journal. And I wish everyone a happy and healthy holiday. This deal is done.